So despite all of the hate on Apple's current iPhone 16 lineup, despite the miserable fail of Apple Intelligence, I caved in and actually bought myself iPhone 16 Pro Max not long ago. And today I want to share with you my experiences, and this is not gonna be your typical review in which I focus on specs, I talk about the features that everyone is telling, I use the beautiful shots to show you the iPhone from different perspectives. No, it's gonna be way more than that. It's gonna be the real user experience and a great guide for a person who wants to buy it or who just maybe wants to talk about the technology and the current state of iPhones and the way it looks and the way it looks from my perspective. Because believe me, this is actually way different than the perspective of most of the reviewers that review the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So let's get to that. So the reason I got myself 16 Pro Max in the first place was because I had the iPhone 13 Pro and it was a great device, really great device, still very smooth, very fast, the battery life was decent, the cameras were great. So what was actually missing? Well, the thing was that I started a new job, I started using my iPhone way more heavily, my life changed, and I realized that this display was simply too small for me. I needed the iPhone that was simply more. The size was what was really bothering me with my old iPhone 13 Pro. I just couldn't accept it anymore. I really needed the bigger iPhone for my work comfort and for the overall usage comfort. And on top of that, I saw that there were a lot of nice features that actually Apple introduced. USB-C, dynamic island, always on display, with more possibilities of gaming, more RAM, more camera features, more megapixel, which I'm also using now for content production. And I was like, damn, I really need the best of what Apple can offer and in a bigger size for my work needs and for what I need right now. On top of that, the extra battery, the refreshed design, the slimmer bezels, damn, I started convincing myself. And I was like, but there's so much hate on the 16 Pro Max. Maybe I'm gonna get myself a 15 Pro Max. So I look at this device and I was like, they're very similar, but I want really the ultimate iPhone experience, and I'm the person who will care about the slimmer bezels. I'm the person who will need that better microphones and maybe audio mix for my work. I'm the person who needs the best battery I can get, the biggest possible iPhone I can get. That was the main reason I wanted to get the 16 Pro Max in the first place. And on top of that, I started playing with the most hated feature on the new iPhone, the camera button, and I was like, yeah, maybe it's not perfect, but actually for adjusting the tone on my photos and actually locking the focus and actually launching the camera in the first place, I found it really interesting and really cool because I was like, yeah, for the first time, even with my gloves on, I can just press this button, which is in the place I wanted it to be, and actually launch the camera, and then I can just use it whatever I want. So I don't have to use all the features that are so widely spoken of the 16 Pro Max when it comes to that camera control. I can just use it for launching the camera, maybe adjusting the tone, taking the picture, and it's gonna be really cool. And with that approach, I was like, yeah, it's a really good deal. And here in Poland, like these phones got for way cheaper than the 15 Pro Max and 14 Pro Max back in the day. So it seemed like a perfect deal. And you know what? It actually was. Like, this is not the perfect iPhone that you want. It didn't bring the most amount of features, but it fixed the problems that stopped me from buying the 15 Pro Max. It doesn't overheat, it has better battery life, it has even bigger screen, and heck, I want the biggest screen possible. Apple can even go 6.2 inches, I don't mind. I use my phone for everything, I want the biggest possible screen, so for me it's a big advantage. The slimmer bezels, as I said, I'm the type of person who will notice that. And all of these extra features, I was like, yeah, I will appreciate them, I will like them, and I really do. And this phone is really not lacking anything. Actually astonished me. It unlocked the features I didn't have. I love the always on display, the USB-C, the extra adjustments, the extra improvements that were done from the 13 Pro versions are actually very noticeable. I love them. The bigger size is perfect, the titanium is really cool, although not as durable as stainless steel. And I love this phone. It gives me everything I wanted. I wanted the best battery life, I have it. I wanted the biggest screen, I have it. I wanted even snappier performance and better cameras, I have it all. So it's a really great phone that unfortunately is being hated for sometimes the wrong reasons. And as I said, when it comes to the launch of Apple Intelligence, it's just a joke. I mean, it's a joke. ChatGPT alone, the premium version, is 100 times better than Apple Intelligence in its current state, which is basically also dependent on the ChatGPT integrated in it very heavily. So yeah, there is that. And the iPhone 16 Pro Max is maybe not the best smartphone in the world, maybe not the most innovative, maybe it's lacking behind S25 Ultra in certain features, but it's the best that Apple has to offer right now. And if you are in the need of buying yourself the newest iPhone, the biggest iPhone, the best that Apple has to offer, you're not gonna get disappointed. Yes, maybe the new iPhone will have these great features, this redesign, this 48 megapixel on all lenses, maybe another improvements that we will appreciate for sure, but the technology is always advancing. And I bought the 16 Pro Max knowing what I was buying without expecting anything extra, and man, I got extra because I didn't expect my experience to be this good. And this phone is not perfect, but man, it's all I wanted. I wanted the biggest iPhone, I knew what I was buying, and I got this phone. And yes, it's not the most shiny of them all, but it's really reliable and it gives you all you need. And this hate, sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not, but it's steering the people who really want this phone towards something else that maybe they don't necessarily want, because there's so many negative talk about this product, which in many ways is in my opinion unjustified. So the 16 Pro Max, 6 months later, I think it's still a terrific device. And if you want the radical changes, the redesign, something new, yeah, you gotta wait for 17 Pro Max, which may also be more expensive. But if you want the best that Apple has to offer now, and you need it the way I needed it for my work and for my preferences, you're not gonna get disappointed. It's a terrific product that is now enabling me to make more money because it enables me to be more productive, and for me that was important, that made a difference, and maybe for you it will make too. So if you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to drop them down in the comments. Sorry for me being a little bit rusty, but I haven't done this for quite some time, but it's good to be back again. Subscribe for more. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. And you can also share your experiences with maybe iPhone 16 models or any other iPhone or Apple product that you have. I'll gladly talk to you about it. Hopefully, until next time, best wishes.